What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the 3829 podcast. If you don't know by now, I am your host, Trey. Now, before we jump into it, make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button. And if y'all have any topics that y'all would like to see us cover in the future that we didn't hit in this episode, then be sure to throw them down in the comments. Now, today, man, we got a very, very special guest, man. Today, we got my pops on, and man, I'll be honest, if it wasn't for him, this podcast probably would have never been started. Because back in the day, man, every single ride, every time we got in the car, man, it is every single time it was talk radio. Whether it was Mike and Mike, Golick and Golick, whoever. It was talk radio every single day. So this man been waiting for this moment to have his debut on a podcast for himself. So give him a round of applause. And without further ado, we got Pops on the pod, man.
All right. Good afternoon, sir. Long-time listener, first-time caller. So thank you for having me. Ready to get into it. Happy to be here on that 3829.
As always, Pops always welcome on the 3829. But this man has been talking very crazily recently. So I had to get him on the podcast because we can't be giving away free content. So so we on the podcast today and we back talking about the Pacers. We could say this is part 3 of the Pacers breakdown or whatever. But we had to come back and talk about these Pacers. So as y'all know, I spoke very highly of Bennedict Mathurin coming into the year, and so far, all I gotta say is I told you so. Now, some people do not agree with me, and one of the people that do not agree with me is sitting right here. So I want you to go ahead and give your opinion on Bennedict Mathurin's play so far, and because like I said, I feel like he's stepped up and done what he's needed to do so far this season, but you don't believe so. So go ahead and let us know why you feel that way.
So I'm gonna start by saying this, Bennedict Mathurin, you've been playing great. If you're out there, if you're hearing this, I did not talk about your play whatsoever. What I said.
Whoa, time out. That is not. This is a whole different energy than what we had yesterday.
So what I said was, in order for the Pacers, because as you can see, longtime Pacer fan, in order for the Pacers to be successful, I'm not sure his style of play fits with us. And with as great a talent as he is, I would think that maybe we get something for him before it's too late. That was the point I was trying to make. He is a great one-on-one player. For us to be successful, we have to play with pace and move the ball. I think he brings the ball up court pretty slow. We don't get into our offense fast enough, and we don't get those easy opportunities as we saw we did a lot last year, especially in the playoffs. So as great of a player as he is and as good as he's played to start the first 2 games of the season, and while it might lead us to victories this year for long term and for that ultimate goal to bring a ship to this city, I don't know if he can change his game to a style that would validate him being a starter and getting as many minutes as his talent demands, or if he's willing to keep that role of off the bench, first option, and playing with that unit. So with those being the 2 options, I would think maybe we look into sometime this season getting as much as we can for him.
And that's
which probably won't be the value that we deserve to get for him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest, I don't agree with that. I cannot agree with that. One, I hear what you're saying about, his style of play. In the first game, the ball didn't move as much as we know that the Pacers have moved the ball in previous seasons, especially, last season where it was, really highlighted. If you're a Pacer fan, you knew that that's how we played, but it wasn't known at a national level. So it was really highlighted. Our style of play was really highlighted across the whole league. And we've seen teams even try to, adjust their style and kind of mimic what we do. But for Mathurin, let's just talk about this season. So in game 1 against the Thunder, like I said, I will agree the ball stuck. But how many times did we see players just standing literally just standing and watching Siakam or Mathurin with the ball. If you're not moving, the ball's not going to move. Simple as that. And all you're doing by just standing in one spot is making it harder for everybody else to score. Then last night, it wasn't the whole game, but it was a specific play that I'm watching it and I'm looking away from the ball. Obi Toppin has the ball and Ben Shepherd sitting at the top right wing, hands on his knees. That's unacceptable. I understand you may be getting a little bit more tick than you were used to, but it's time to step up. Now, you getting mad at Benedict Mathurin for his style of play, but I feel like in game 1 and in game 2 up until the injury, he did what everybody was not going to do and was step up. We got some guys that are being forced to step up that aren't ready to. Then we have other guys that it's like, okay, you've been here. You get what I'm saying? And they're not taking that leap that I feel like they should.
So
And then hold on.
Go ahead.
And then let's really, because I really want to talk about game 1, because I know you didn't really get to see as much as game 2, and game 2 wasn't as much of a game. You get what I'm saying? Especially once Mathurin left the game. But game 1, we had a shot up until the last overtime, right? Pretty much up until Mathurin went out in that game as well.
Okay. Fair
But
to say.
one, I seen plenty of calls that we could have challenged. Plenty. I know you only get 2 challenges in regulation, and you only get the second one if you get the first one right. But there were plenty of calls that we could have challenged, and Rick Carlisle, I don't know what's been going on ever since the Eastern Conference Finals, but ever since like last year, since the Eastern Conference Finals, he's been holding on to them challenges for dear life. I don't know if he's getting money back for him at the end of the game or what, but he holds on to them things for dear life. And I understand that after every play, the players are gonna get up and. But I mean, it's a close game in the fourth quarter, and you're not even thinking about throwing that challenge. I mean, you think about it, but you don't really use it. And then the one time that he does go use a challenge, he takes 20 seconds thinking about it on an out of bounds play. I'm not mad at the refs for getting the ball back in, because at the end of the day, how long do you want the game to stop? That is one of the issues that we have with the game, is that there's too many stoppages and there's too much time wasted making the games go on too long. So do I disagree with a challenge attempt? No, but I disagree with you doing it 20 seconds later than getting mad at the ref for giving them the other team back the ball. Like how long do you want us to sit and wait? Okay, is he gonna not that he threw it? Is he gonna throw the challenge? And I know that was something that we got bad about last year when they did it for the Thunder in the finals. But one, it's a rule. You're not supposed to wait, right? 2, if you think it's a challenge, I know you have to let your, second line related info back to you. But if it's a situation in like that and you know you're probably not gonna have enough time, then just let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because realistically, I would rather let them have it on the out of bounds, because we know that we playing the Thunder. We're gonna need that challenge for somebody that had a foul call.
Okay. So, first off, I'm not going to stand for the Rick Carlisle disrespect.
Rick Carlisle's
He's
a
the
great
greatest
coach
coach in the league.
He's a great coach, but I don't know
He's the
why he's
greatest coach
holding
in
on
the
to them
league.
challenges like he can cash them in at the end of the game.
So I'm just gonna put that out there. Greatest coach of the league. How he develops players, how he picks spots, and how he adjusts, especially in the playoffs, to teams and what they do and what our strengths are. I don't think there's anyone better. 2, I was at game 1. The refereeing was horrendous. He called a timeout to challenge, and they didn't honor his timeout. That
They
was the
didn't.
frustration.
But how long was it until he had called the timeout?
The ball wasn't in play. You have all the way up until the end to get your timeout.
Okay, but here's the thing: when I go
They
back
had
to
not handed the ball.
and the refs are not they're not obligated to hold on to the ball until Rick Carlisle decides, okay, I want to go ahead and challenge.
But they hadn't handed the ball off yet.
No. Now
Man,
if
did
you
the
do want to
timeout.
if you do want to make an argument for that, we could talk about the when they gave the Thunder the ball back after we stole it, saying that Mark Dagnall had called a timeout after that. We can argue that.
Hey, even that, right? because that was one of those plays, game-altering plays,
It was.
where he gets the ball, he scores, and then you have it in the back of their head. I mean, it could have been another game one of the finals to where now we're in their head, now we're playing that tight defense, which I thought we never really got to do. We never got to full court press. And one of the reasons why Neesmith out of the game, Nembhard went out to injury. You don't have your defensive dog, so you're at a disadvantage if you try to full court press, and you don't have your top defenders. But I just thought a lot of the calls in that game, and even on the Pacers end, a lot of the fouls that they committed on Shea on this, I don't get it, pump fake that everyone goes for. But he still jumps into players on 50% of them, which is supposed to be illegal now.
It is supposed to be illegal.
Adam Silver, let's take a look at that, please.
Adam Silver is doing everything he can to sweep stuff under the rug right now.
Hey, as I think we could talk about that later, as he should. But
no, not just that. He's sweeping everything under the rug. He's doing anything he can. He said, "Hey, don't look over here." He said,
so.
Yeah, it's been a bad summer for the NBA. The gambling, the salary cap circumvention. It's been a bad summer.
Man, I don't even know what the gambling is. It a movie? Like I don't even get it. Like,
and
we in Goodfellas?
It's multiple layers to it though, because
like
apparently no, I'm saying like Terry Rozier was doing something completely different than what. Yeah, and then apparently KG's in it.
Phillips and Damon Jones.
Yeah, KG is in on it too.
KG attended a game. Attended some poker games, which, a game between friends and people that you know, that you've played with, you're probably trusting. Is he involved? They got the celebrities there to lean valid. You know what I'm saying?
To get valid. Yeah,
to validate the games while they were stealing money. So did he lose money in the game? What I'm worried about, like, yo, KG, I know my guy from Chi-Town. Don't go to your Chi-Town ways. Let the FBI take care of it. Because, they said over $7 million. That's a big hit. I don't care how much money you got. $7 million is a lot of money to lose.
No, seriously. But no, back to the Pacers, man. Back to the Pacers. And then another thing I was disappointed about was at the end of the first overtime. I think it's 30 seconds left on the clock at the start of once we get the ball over half court. And we spend 15 seconds of our shot clock with the ball at the half court line in one player's hands. And that player was not was not Benedict Mathurin.
Okay.
So in a tie ball,
guy Pascal.
You're right, and here's why: because that was not a smart play. It was a very bad play. And then you taking shots at Ben Mathurin. What did Pascal Siakam do last night versus the Grizzlies? What did he do? Where was he?
So I'm giving my team a lot of grace right now. They're dealing with a lot of injuries.
You giving your team a lot of grace besides Benedict Mathurin? The one person that is showing up to the games. You're like, okay, let's get rid of him. Let's just take the whole season away.
No, let's say this. I'm not coming down on Benedict Mathurin. Like I said, he's an immense talent. He is. But if we look at it, his style of play for what we want to do, it's like a square peg round hole. It just does not fit. I don't know if he can adjust his style of play to fit. I don't believe he can. This is going to be the season that can tell us. This will be the season that can tell us, can he push the ball up the court? Can he get the offense initiated quickly? With Nembhard out, it's going to be even more important for him too. Can he continue to can we be successful playing that style of play with Halliburton out and him being our 1A, 1B player? That's what we're going to have to find out this year. And if by the trade deadline it doesn't look that way, and he's going to have every opportunity to, which I don't know. Hopefully he's not injured that long. Hopefully he gets back in the lineup really soon. He'll have every opportunity to acclimate to that style. I don't see it. I hope he proves me wrong, right? I hope he's a pacer for a long time and we get, multiple rings with him. Currently, I just don't see it, right? Like, he had an amazing stat line. He got almost 40 points, double-digit rebounds. I mean, only 1 assist. He played some pretty good defense. Like, he's definitely locked in on the defensive end. But at the end of the day, I have to look at it like, okay, with Tyrese Halliburton's out there, can he still do that and we be effective?
But here's the thing. I'm gonna bring up 2 points, and I've already brought up 1 point to you, which was you're assuming that Tyrese Halliburton comes back the same player. You get what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I want to see that. But that's not a guarantee. But that's not a guarantee. And even still, the Benedict Mathurin I seen versus the Thunder versus the Benedict Mathurin I seen versus last night versus the Grizzlies, I did see an improvement as far as playmaking. Now, I can't hold that against you because I know that you did miss the game, or majority of it, you didn't get there till after Mathurin was out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he got the offense sparked. And early in the game when we couldn't score, Benedict Mathurin was the one to get us a bucket to go ahead and get our offense going, right? Through 3 quarters, he had 24, and he was moving the ball. You get what I'm saying? Now, some of the passes he made were a little bit too much. You get what I'm saying? Borderline turnovers. Luckily, you're playing on the Pacers, and they had history with Tyrese Halliburton, so they got that quick reaction. But I definitely seen an improvement from him. And 2, the other point I was going to make is last season, obviously we know what we got from Tyrese Halliburton in the playoffs, but Tyrese Halliburton admitted it himself. It was through the beginning and the first half of the year, he wasn't the most consistent player in the world. So when we're having those stretches, we also need somebody that we can lean on. And again, I feel like Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin, that duo right there can be crazy. You gotta, I feel like Benedict Mathurin's been on the bench for a while. You get what I'm saying? He hasn't been given the opportunity that he's about to get this year. Now, it's all about what he can accept. Like you said, maybe the improvement from game 1 to game 2 was Rick Carlisle getting on him. Nevertheless, clearly it got through. You know what I'm saying?
Best coach in the game.
But regardless, there's plenty of players that you can talk to all day long and it'll never get through. Ben Simmons came into the league. He needed a jumper. We on year 7, 8, maybe even 10. Still don't got a jumper. No, we on year, is it 9? He was drafted in 2017.
I think it might have been 16. I have to look it up. 16 or 15.
No, it was he was drafted the year before Lonzo. What? No, or was it the year before that?
For Lonzo Ball?
Because Tatum was 17.
Lonzo Ball was in the same year as
Tatum, yeah. Wait, but who? No, because remember it was a debate about him and somebody else getting it. The rookie of the year.
Lonzo Ball was 2.
No. Lonzo wasn't in the rookie of the year.
Markelle Fultz was 1.
Yeah.
Lonzo Ball was 2. Jason Tatum was 3.
No, but I'm saying, because remember it was a debate about if he should get rookie of the year because he sat out his first season. I'm trying to remember who the argument was against. Was it Tatum?
Did Tatum sit out his first season? No, he didn't.
No, it was Tatum Ben Simmons. Simmons sat out his first season, and then it was an argument about if he should get the rookie of the year his second year.
Oh, he did. He did get rookie of the year, didn't he?
I know, but who was he going up against?
I don't remember. To be honest, I don't.
Was that the Tatum? I don't feel like it wasn't Tatum though. I feel like it was somebody else.
And no. Because Tatum...
It might have been 2016 and he got drafted. Dang, this really is year 9, 10 for Ben Simmons. Still no jumper.
Yeah.
Still no jumper.
But that wasn't his game. And he never developed it.
But he had a bad coach, Doc Rivers. And whoever they had before that.
Don't know who they had before Doc Rivers.
Or, hold on. Dang, who did the Philly have? Oh, I ain't gonna remember it. I ain't gonna.
Was
I
Nick
ain't.
Nurse after Doc Rivers?
Yeah, Nick Nurse was after Doc Rivers.
Okay.
Wait, Nick Nurse? I thought. I don't know why I thought he was with the Clippers.
I'm pretty sure he was the
No,
Philly
no.
after
Tyron is with the
Rondo.
Clippers. Tyron Lewis with the
Yeah,
Clippers.
Tyronn Lue. Yep.
No, back to the Pacers though, man. Back to the Pacers.
So I want to address Tyrese play last year. Tyrese might not have had consistent numbers, but he played the game consistently. You know what I'm saying? He always pushed the pace. He always looked for the best play. He always tried to get his team involved. He rarely played hero ball. Now, with that, when it got time to the playoffs, he has some of the most spectacular plays, the most spectacular individual performances. I mean, if we just look at Game 5 for Milwaukee, Game 2, Game 1 and 2, I would say, of Cleveland, and Game 5 of Cleveland. But if we think back to Game 4, where they were at home and they blew Cleveland out, and it was his style of play, not necessarily the numbers he put up, that allowed them to move the ball, to play with pace, to be up, I want to say 40 at halftime. So his commitment to our style of play is what made us so good. Early on last year, Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith were both out, which a lot of people fail to remember, which is two of the heartbeats of our team.
I hear you.
Maybe they don't put numbers up, but what they do is invaluable.
No, I definitely hear you on that. But again, I just feel like that they can. There's a world where they can complement each other. It may not be right this very moment, but if you go from if you like, who knows what the final stat line for Benedict Mathurin would have been if he finishes game 2. You know what I'm saying? He ended it with 3 assists, and not saying that the stats mean everything, but it wasn't just the assist; it was the looks that he was setting people up for.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes, and even sometimes a hockey assist, right? The assist before the assist
Mm-hmm.
is not counted, right? Halliburton put somebody in a great situation, and then they find the better shot afterwards. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't get credit for that assist. So if Mathurin is doing things like that, if he's keeping it fluid, right? That is what benefits, right? I would love a world where Benedict Mathurin and Tyrese Halliburton can complement each other within the flow of what the Pacers are doing, right? Playing fast, picking up 3/4 of the court, wearing teams down. So by the end of the game, they're making the mistakes that allow us to come back from 9 points in less than a minute, to come back from 17 points in less than 3 minutes. Um, to compete with teams with the caliber of OKC, you know, teams out west, to dominate the East. Because in the playoffs, they were very dominant, right? Milwaukee took them to 5 games, which I say game 3 was a fluke. We beat Cleveland in 5 games, beating them every game on their home court, right? We won every game in Cleveland just to show how dominant we were. I've already expressed to you the amount of respect I have for Donovan Mitchell now. But, you know, we wore him out. We wore him out. A combination of Aaron Nesmith and Andrew Nembhard picking him up. And even though he was scoring 40, it was a hard 40. And, I mean, he played his heart out. And, I mean, you know, if anybody from Indiana, anybody that plays hard is going to gain our respect. What we did to New York that made them, like, basically redraw their whole playbook. You know what I'm saying? They had to start Mitchell Robinson. They had to bench Josh Hart because he couldn't be effective the way that we played. So, like I said, I feel like we were very dominant in the East, and we we're very competitive in the finals. And you won't get me to say that had Tyrese Halliburton not went down, we wouldn't be raising the banner a couple nights ago. So that is what I want to preserve as a Pacer. That style of play I love. The way they play with heart I love. And don't get me wrong, Benedict Mathurin plays with a lot of emotion, sometimes to his detriment. But I think he's came from systems where him being the man benefited the team the most. And that's what can benefit the Pacers the most this season, but not long term.
I hear you. I hear you. I honestly do. But I did want to make one comment on something that you had said earlier about the officiating, because I'm not sure if you know, but the NBA believes that the Pacers have the softest fans in the league. So just so y'all know.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they do. They say that we are the biggest crybabies in the league. But
well, we do have a couple key chants for those refs.
No, that we do. But the reason that it's, I will admit, Shea put up 55. Oh, Shea put up 55 in this game versus the Pacers. Shot more than 20 free throws. Shot 12 free. Had shot more than 12 free. Yeah, but shot more than 20. I didn't know the exact number, so I just said more than 20. Shot more than 20 free throws and had shot 12 by halftime. Were the fouls that he drew not fouls? Did he not get contact on those? I'll give it to you. He did get contact on them. It's not about him getting the contact. It's one, the amount that he exaggerates the contact, and he'll jump into somebody and jump back. That is not a foul. That when the offensive player is responsible for majority of the contact, that is not a defensive foul. Two,
absolutely,
it's the level of the fouls. This is a foul on one end, and on the other end, literally being spoken about by the broadcasters, Siakam getting harassed, literally Dort all over him. And well, it's because we're in overtime now. They're gonna let him play a little bit rough. But then you get to the other side of the court, and now Cason Wallace Cason Wallace didn't play that game. Forgot who it was. AJ Mitchell back at the free throw line again. Just because we blink too fast and that's a foul. Like that's what is irritating. You get what I'm saying? When the refs are admitting, that probably should have been a foul, and then you're still blowing the whistle for touch fouls on the other end. That's what the issue is.
Yeah, definitely not equal level of calls or equal level of respect. And I think the Pacer fans have been seeing it for a very long time. Let's think back to the LJ continuation 4-point play where he shot the shot after 4 seconds of the whistle. You can count it. And just things of that nature. I don't feel like the Pacers have ever got a friendly whistle, but hey, we are used to it, right? Rick Carlisle kind of coaches the players to don't think about it as much and just play ball. If the NBA really feels that way, I mean, take a look at what the cause is. Indiana is a high basketball state with very intelligent basketball fans. So for you to say that we're the biggest crybabies, it has to be at least something to look at. Now, I think there's some validity there.
No, definitely. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna say that the man wasn't getting fouled. What I will say is we were also getting fouled. That's the issue.
Yeah.
That is the issue.
Call it fair. Call it same way on both ends. Absolutely.
No, exactly. And that brings me to the last topic that we're gonna cover in this episode, which is at what point is the greatness forced? Because I feel like we're kind of seeing it a little bit in the WNBA right now, currently with A'ja Wilson as well. Not to try to bring her down at all, but with the calls that I had seen in those playoffs, it's kind of you're seeing large similarities. You get what I'm saying? So when you're doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and then the way that the NBA as well as the WNBA go about promoting these two specific players, it feels like forced greatness. You get what I'm saying?
Now, who are the two players?
Shea and Asia Wilson for the
Okay,
WNBA.
okay. I got you.
Cause,
I got
cause
you.
like,
Asia.
especially last year in the playoffs or in the finals, whenever you seen something about the finals, it didn't feel like it was the Thunder and the Pacers in the finals, did it? Or did it just feel like it was pretty much the Thunder in the finals?
So it was very Thunder centric, Thunder heavy. But and I'll say this: we went to a OKC Pacer game. It was game 2.
Greatest game of my life. Even with the L, even with the L,
Even
still
with
the
the
greatest
L, even
greatest
with the
game I've
L,
ever
yes.
went to.
Yes. Shout out Section 315 in there, man. All those Pacer fans, I loved it. But what I will say about that is, I think it is exaggerated for Paycom Center or Chase Center, whatever it's called right now. Them saying that was their loudest arena. No way. I will tell you, I felt bad for the OKC fans that were close to our section because they definitely realized what Pacer fans bring. Okay, we were ruckus till the end, and we were defiant even leaving the stadium with a loss. Right? They claimed we wouldn't get any more wins, and we definitely made that a series. And like I said, you cannot convince me that had Halliburton not gotten hurt, we wouldn't have been raising the banner a couple of nights ago. I was also at Game 6, and in about the same area, and that arena was deafening. We went down 10 early, and I mean, those fans were still on their feet. I remember, and I tell you this, leading up into it, all I heard on the radio was, oh, yeah, they said 20% of the tickets went to the OKC fans. We're going to see a lot of OKC fans. And being downtown before, I did see quite a few OKC fans. When I got in that building, it was gold all the way through and through. There was not even a section where the OKC fans had congregated. There was minimal OKC blue. And when I say it was deafening and that place was, electrifying, it was one of the best sports experiences that I've seen from a fan perspective. And it was great that we got a blowout and it wasn't a close game. Now, to your point about Asia Wilson, she's a bad girl.
I hear you on that. But one, that's a super team. That's a super team.
No, they have an amazing team for sure.
Two, they don't need no help from the refs, and they definitely got that against the Mercury.
And I think they got it against the Fever too.
They got it all throughout the playoffs. That's the problem.
Oh.
That's the issue I have. If you're really that good, you don't need no help. Give me what's deserved. Like if honestly, like really, if I was one of them players and I think I'm genuinely the best, I don't want no help from the ref. Nah, brother, he ain't fouled me. Get him the ball. Let's go.
See, now I think the difference is you're thinking of street ball, not organized ball.
Regardless, I don't. If I am like, because at the end of the day, for me, if I know I really didn't earn something, it's gonna sit in the back of my head. So you could talk about Shea averaged 32, but then he averaged 12 points from the line a game, so he really averaged 20. Come on now, like let's be real. And if I'm Shea, I think about that. Okay, I averaged. Realistically, I averaged 20 points that... No, let me finish. I averaged 20 points that weren't from the line, and maybe 6 of the free throws I shot a game were actually warranted.
So I think Shea, part of his game is to get to the line. Like, that's his game's built on it. Half the time he goes to the line, he's not even attempting the shot. Like a legit shot.
Exactly.
He's trying to draw the...
And playing like that, like, you shouldn't feel good about... Like, you shouldn't go home feeling like, oh, yeah, I just put up 50, but I shot 30 free throws. I feel
Oh,
great. Or Jalen Brunson the other night going 5 for 18 from the field, but shooting 12 free or making 12 free throws. That is ridiculous.
yeah.
That is the NBA trying to help their stars make them still look good. Because I promise you, if they didn't give him 12 free throws, the city of New York would hate him right now.
Yeah, no. They turned on him last year. So listen, and I'm gonna get back. I'm gonna get back to Shea. But I'm gonna finish on Asia though. So one, I'm gonna plug my team, plug my fevers. Kelsey Mitchell, most underrated player in the league. I was gonna say that right now, most underrated because she's a bad girl. She's a bad girl to the point where the Aces knew they had to be physical with her. They had to be over physical with her. And while, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers are the new face and have brought a lot of new energy to the league. And I think anybody in the league can admit and respect that. Your players like Kelsey Mitchell um, are, like I said, the heart she plays with and the tenacity she brings to the game, And I feel like if she doesn't get hurt in game 5 of that series, we're playing in the WNBA championship. So I will say that, and you cannot convince me otherwise. But back to Asia, some of the things she can do on the court, I don't know another player that can do that. You know what I mean? She's to me still the best player in the game. I know some people are saying Napheesa Collier, but to me, she's still the best player in the game. I just think that, and if not the best, the most dominant. She's definitely the most hard to stop.
Again, though, but how much of that is from assists? And then the one reason I say Angel Wilson more than SGA is because they literally have ads and marketing going out that is literally calling her the GOAT.
Well, and you have to market your players, right? Like they have. I mean that's just smart business. You have to market your players, right?
LeBron, look,
Um,
when at LeBron's highest, there was never any NBA ads talking about GOAT. There were never any Nike ads talking about GOAT.
well, it's because Nike also has the GOAT.
I
They have Michael
understand,
Jordan,
but they're
and I
trying to
think it
hand it
makes
to.
for
I
great
feel like
debate.
handing it to her like that, because when the league comes out and says it, that's something completely different than
Mhm.
just
Yeah.
talk. When the leagues come out and says, "Oh, this is our GOAT," that's something completely different, and that's why I feel like the greatness is forced.
hmm I think in some senses they needed her to be great, right? With a league that's still developing, like if we think about NBA in the '80s,
Well, the
needed
problem.
needed a Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but I feel like their way of going about developing the league is not the best. Like, or I won't say not the best, but I don't know. I feel like they give, they just let people who have a name and they just bank off of that, and they don't really try to build up the players who actually should be stars in their league. Like Jackie
I
Young
think
broke the record for points in a quarter in the finals. How many people know Jackie
know
Young's
that.
name, and
Yeah.
that's not even to disrespect her, because I know that she's a bucket. You get what I'm saying? But how many? I'll be honest. I turned on the WNBA finals at my job at first. Oh, the reaction changed drastically throughout the game. It was game 3, the game where Kalia Copper lit up the
hmm
Aces and almost brought them back. Boy, that was a good game. But at first, we
And
watching the game.
Asia Wilson in that game
She
made the
called
bucket.
divorce. She called divorce. That's what they said. They
But
said that's the first time somebody done hit a game winner over a married couple. She done called divorce.
man, so but what I'm saying is, I think that the WNBA definitely has a problem with viewership and people investing to a level, right? Like you might know the first player off the bench or the sixth man in the NBA, right? Your energy guy, your TJ McConnells, right? I think outside of the big stars, you do have an issue in the WNBA of your second tier players, right?
Not even second tier.
Your Sophie Cunninghams, which
Your Casey
is
Mitchells, which is the star of the team.
Kelsey Mitchell, which is the best player on the team. Caitlin Clark is a star, right?
Well,
so it's
see
the
best, but that's the issue though, because like for a player like me, I did a lot of my learning on like teams and just in general through 2K. That's if you're a 90, you one of the best players. If being the highest ranked player means that you're better than the player that's ranked below you.
Yeah.
If you go and play with the Fever on 2K, our two best players are Aaliyah Boston and Caitlin Clark. Kelsey Mitchell's not even a 90.
It's not true.
It's not even a 90.
Which we know is not true.
But that's an issue, though. That's an issue.
That's it. And you know what? I don't even know how you do that. To be honest, I don't. I don't know how. I mean, I think anyone in Indiana knows that Kelsey Mitchell is the best player on the team. Right? It's evident. Not even a question. Right? That's why they knew they had to keep her. I think the WNBA and probably the Fever are hoping that Caitlin Clark develops into the best player on the team. They understand she's not there yet. Same with Aaliyah Boston. Right? They knew they had to go out and get Sophie Cunningham because they needed an enforcer. Right? They put the team together very wisely because they knew what they needed around Caitlin. Right? They know Caitlin can have some games where she goes off for 30, maybe 40. But then she'll flip around and have the games where she's 1 for 10 for 3, and she has 10 points and 6 assists with 6 turnovers. And it's only fair because she's so new to the league. It was her second year. Right? She's still haven't developed. Kelsey Mitchell's a seasoned vet. She's not new to it. But the league has more eyes on it now because Caitlin Clark is in it. Angel Reese is in it. And they don't have the ability for them to be the best players. Like when LeBron James came into the league, you still had Kobe, you still had Shaq, you still had these players that were carrying the league, and LeBron could develop to that level. Caitlin Clark came into the league and was automatically the most popular. And they, needed her to be the best, but she wasn't going to be the best. Right? Then you have like Diana Taurasi and what's the girl's name in LA? But like they're throwing shots at her.
Hamby? I mean, not Hamby. De'Arca Hamby?
No. It's oh my gosh. I'm drawing the biggest blank right now.
Kelsey Plum?
No. Kelsey Plum.
Oh yeah.
She's in LA now. Mm-hmm. She's in LA now. So Kelsey Plum like taking shots at her because they're like, hey, I've been doing this. I'm here. We've been holding it down. And while it's true, it hasn't had the notoriety. So it's almost like she's put in an impossible situation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? She wants to be respectful to him. But at the same time, it's like, hey, I still got to be competitive. I still got to, have that fire. I want to respect those that are before me. So it's really kind of like she's put in a tough situation. The league, I don't think they managed it right her first year. I think whatever this commissioner said about her this year, about her needing to be thankful and all this other stuff, is pretty tragic if it's true. So it's allegedly if it's true. But I really think they're in a tough situation. Like I said, the Fever, I think they managed it well because they went and got out who they needed and they kept Kelsey and they put a team together. Even with all the injuries, that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and really had a shot to make it to the final and be competitive. As we can see, they took the Aces to the brink, and then the next round they went and they swept their opponent. So, but A'ja, I mean, like I said, she's a bad girl. Tell me, I want your thoughts. What you think? We're early on, which I know it's early. We're in our first couple games. What this Pacers season can be, and what's the best and what's the worst case scenarios?
Well, I'll just say we not even talking about results of games. Just we already have not had the best start to the season. Just talking about injuries,
Yeah.
Not even talking about Tyrese, who we knew that was going to be out the whole season, but then we see McConnell go out in preseason. We see we lose Nembhard game 1, and then we lose Mather in game 2. I feel like it really revolves around our season is going to really revolve around those guys, plus Siakam, Nesmith, and Toppin. Those are going to be the core guys of the squad. So if they're not available this season, then we'll probably be looking at the lower half of the East. Luckily for us, the Hornets and the Nets are still in the East, so we won't be at the bottom of the East.
Bottom.
We won't be at the bottom, but probably won't be the greatest year in Pacers history if we keep getting this injury luck. Now, let's say that, Nembhard and Mathurin are able to get back on the floor sooner rather than later. I know that TJ is supposed to be back on the floor pretty soon, isn't
he? Sometime in November, middle of November.
Yeah, so he's probably missed about 7-8 games.
I think they're expecting maybe 10.
10. No, I'm saying 7-8 more games. Yeah. So, yeah, honestly, it depends on the injuries. I would say 13th seed in the East is the lowest we can go, just because the Nets and the Hornets are there. Then you never know. Miles Turner's is on the Bucks now, so we might even be able to make it up to the 12th seed.
Okay.
But good on the good side, I could definitely still see us being like a 6 seed. I could see it happening. Now, just I'll be honest. I expected Siakam to be a little bit more aggressive. I expected a little bit better production. I know we're only in game 2, but just seeing, I know it's just one play, but seeing him waste the time off the clock like that at the end of the game versus the Thunder, when we didn't have a lead at all, the game was tied up. You get what I'm saying? And you did that, and I believe he missed the shot, but we were able to get the rebound off of it. So it just wasn't a great play. You get what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. It just in those late game moments, it really that'll really tell a lot. That's why I say a 6 seed. Before I gave us like a 4, but I don't know. Siakam hasn't been the guy I thought he was gonna be this year. I expected Siakam to come out and average like 28 this season, 26, 20. Around there, which I know Siakam's only, that's a lot higher than he's averaged before. But I felt like, he's developed with this squad. I feel like this year was going to be way better than we had ever seen with Toronto. And I'm not sure if you recall, but one of those Toronto's years, he was in the MVP conversation. So that's what I was predicting for Siakam. And I don't know. I just haven't seen that yet. Granted, we're only 2 games into the season, but I have not seen that yet.
Okay. So I think we have a high floor, low ceiling. Right? So I feel like even if this year is, a wash and we have to deal with the injuries of Nembhard and Mathurin, McConnell, hopefully he comes back. I think it's a couple of things I want to see. I want to see them develop our center of the future. If that's Wiseman, if that's Huff.
I'll be honest, I don't think it's Wiseman. I literally seen Wiseman get the ball snatched from him yesterday. I don't think that Wiseman is the center of our future at all. This man went to do a spin in the post, got to the other side of the spin and he ain't even had a ball no more. I said, did he really just snatch the ball from you, bro?
So we'll see what they develop into. I know we were very high on Wiseman at the beginning of the year last year. So let's see. I don't think it's, well, I know it's not Bradley. I doubt it's Jackson. Maybe it's, we get a good, I mean, we own our draft pick this year, and I think we own maybe Denver's draft pick next year, or this year coming up. Maybe it's we find that person in the draft moving forward this season. But whatever, I just hope that we figure that out. One, and then our young talent. What is Johnny Furphy? Let's figure that out. Is he the, if we do move on from Matherin, is he filling in Matherin's role, coming off the bench? That's a bucket. What is Jarris Walker, right? Is he going to be the heir apparent to Siakam, or not? Let's figure that out. What is Matherin? You know what I mean? Can he develop into a player that can work within the flow of our offense? What do we got in Quentin Jackson? Right? Is he taking over TJ McConnell's role when he's young?
Is he Lance 2.0? Is he mini Lance?
Is he Lance 2.0? Has anybody called Lance for a 10-day contract?
No, exactly. We need that right now.
We're in this point guard purgatory.
No, I don't know. I think Lance might be retired officially from not from the NBA, but from basketball after that Malik Beasley beating.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, so what do we have in Quentin Jackson? What can Taylon Peters be? What can Shepherd be? I think Shepherd has the opportunity to take a really big step this year. Then how big can Nembhard and Nesmith be? Right? How many more years do we have with Siakam? So I think that's the real success of this season, right? It's opened up. Let's see what these young guys can do. Let's see what we got with our kind of not vets, but team vets in Nembhard, Nesmith, Matherin. Let's see what we got with our center position. Like, is Jay Huff, Miles Light, which I feel like we could do very well with Miles Light with the right situation around him. Is Wiseman, I don't want to say Embiid light. I don't even know who I would compare him to. But can Wiseman develop into, a decent rebounder, a decent, mid-range, kind of can stretch 5 type player that takes us to the next level? I don't know what Jackson is. I feel like Jackson is a great backup, but probably not a starter. I don't know. Any Jackson fans out there, please forgive me. I just never saw it from him before.
Isaiah Jackson, he means, by the way. Just so I'm not confused.
Yes. Never saw it from him before. I know he's bulked up. Hey, way to hit the gym. Get your summer body, Miami body right, all that. But yeah, I don't know. But I think that is the success of our season. I think, like you said, Matherin being the lead, I guarantee they could have been a top 4 seed, right? Even get back to, second round Eastern Conference final level. Successful season. I think what benefits us more out of this season is figuring out what we got young. So when Halliburton comes back, hopefully better than before, fingers crossed, prayers up, that we have so much of a dynamic running team that it's like they don't get a break. It doesn't matter who's in there. When we rotate and the bench comes in, it's the same, we hitting you with the same drug. Extra Novocaine just to numb you out. We're coming fast the whole time, the athletes, and we just keep going from there. So that's my hope for the Pacers this season, is to figure those things out. for when Tyrese Halliburton comes back next year, and let's make that magical run again, because that was a lot of fun.
No, it was. It
It was a
was.
lot of fun.
Even if you wasn't a Pacer fan, you had to enjoy it.
Oh man, yeah. I was very excited for this season, but I almost was like, is this over? Like when this season starts, is that season officially over? Because I mean, I will go back and watch the Cleveland game, right? When he comes out and hits that three, or New York game one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just all of that. They just seemed like a team of destiny all year last year. And I said it at the beginning of the season, and I said it, you know, when they went to the Eastern Conference Final and lost to Boston and got swept. I said, man, this team is coming back with so much y'all don't see. And they did. And they started off the year slow, but if you look after January, they were boosted to the ground, and they were putting the league on notice, for sure.
No, for sure. Well, with that being said, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the 3829 podcast. Dad, I want to give you another special thanks for jumping on this episode with me. It was a very good one. Hopefully the supporters like it. I had a good time. Hopefully you did as well. You got any last words for you?
It was my pleasure. Sir, it was my pleasure. I had a great time talking Pacers. I do want to say, I don't know if you even said this on the podcast yet. Congratulations on your new daughter.
Thank you,
Aurora
sir.
Rose Henderson. A couple weeks ago. I can't wait to get down there into this week to meet her. I'm very proud of you with this podcast and as a father, as a family man. So thank you for having me. Hopefully you will have me again to talk Pacers or whatever else. I love you, son.
Love you too, sir. And like I said in the beginning, man, like you always welcome on the podcast, man. Just let me know and make sure you're being respectful when you're talking about Benedict Mathurin, and we won't have no issues, man.
I put the respect on his name. Yeah, no issues at all. Mr. Mathurin, if you're seeing this, I love you as a Pacer.
No, you said you love him as a Pacer. You love him as a player. You don't necessarily love him as a Pacer.
Hey, I love you as a player. I hope we can figure out how to keep you here for a long term. But, I'm a Pacer fan first and foremost, and I want what's best for this team. So please forgive me.
All right, y'all, man. I ain't gonna lie, that was a really great episode in my opinion, man. I had fun recording it, man. Definitely got to get Pops back on the pod again, man. But if y'all liked it, make sure y'all hit that like, that comment, and that subscribe button, and be sure to share it with a friend. Now, if y'all did like this content, man, I do got a couple more episodes covering the Pacers. They'll be popping up right here. Golly, I always do that. They'll be popping up on this side, man. Make sure y'all click those, throw some love on those as well. And with that being said, man, I'm out of here.